Alright everyone, here we are with another video with Invest for Tomorrow, and we're about to jump into ticker symbol JAGX, Jaguar Health Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back, and let's see what this chart is showing us. So here we are to see the fact that it ran up, right? It ran up from the 33-cent range all the way up to highs here of about $1.27. Started getting bearish, got below the 50-day moving average, hit lows here of about 65 cents, and even lower down here at 64 and some change. And then from that point forward, before the run, it was around 65 cents, and it reached highs here of about 99, almost $1, and it quickly has fallen into this direction. Now, here you can see that this was a lot of hype, and I want every single investor to be aware of that. Speculation and hype, a lot of profit taking and uncertainty. But there is one thing I've noticed. It's been holding itself up above 65 cents, which is basically double of the initial investment anyone would have made anywhere in this time range, right? Before the run. And if it wasn't exactly before the run started, as it was running up and it slightly dipped, there was still a 1.8x, multiple there. So it's holding itself up close to about 1.8, 1.7 times the initial value, all the way up to about 2 times the initial value. That's something I find very interesting, even though it pulled back really hard and it's been leveled off and it just ran up and it's falling back down. You can see that there is a large amount of shares that are bought and are being holding up the stock. So profit taking and uncertainty, but then you could see people holding this up and it's just consolidating in a sideways movement, and it ran up again. Now, if we see this behavior happening at least once a week, or multiple times every 2 to 3 days or something like that, and it does the same effect, it goes up and it comes back down, it goes up and it comes back down, then those are swing traders and day traders getting in and out and not allowing the stock to actually naturally run back up. So we need to watch for that. I want every single investor to be aware of that. And I am just giving my unbiased approach here of what the chart is showing us. Now, based off of the history of other charts and how they react, it doesn't matter about the stock price. It doesn't matter about what company it is. It's the behavior that I'm focusing on. So I want every single investor to focus in on that and worry about that the most, like what the behavior is showing us. So far, this is a good sign that it ran up and we're in a position where it's above the 50-day moving average, and even though it had a pullback, that could be quick profit taking from anyone that jumped in here or jumped in here and started to fall. So it was obvious that a lot of profit taking was going to start happening, especially reaching these highs here of almost $1. Anyone that got in here on this dip thinking it was already pulling back up and it fell even harder, and anyone that got in after it ran up and they're like, okay, fear of missing out, let's get in now, this looks like it's running, and then it started to slowly fall. Now, it didn't fall by much when you look at it, 90 cents to 68 cents, 66 cents, and 65. That's like a 30-cent difference. But in someone's portfolio, that can be 1/3 of their initial investment anywhere up here. So it was going to happen. Now, the question that we want to pay close attention to is, okay, those that got in around those points, they took their profits back or broke even. Now this should actually consolidate at a higher number. It shouldn't continue to go down, because then that means we have people from below the 66-cent range or 65-cent range taking profits as well now, like the remaining shares that they've held. So we need to watch news, because that's what really drives stocks to stay afloat, and it drives hope, and then it drives speculation to get it running. So you want to watch that, but most importantly, you want to make sure that, this stock is holding itself up to quiet down the noise above certain numbers and look at what point the behavior started to change. This was running up, and it changed as soon as it was around this area. And if I circle around it, you could really see that. Look right there. That's where things started to change. At these points right here, right, is where exactly you could see that the whole entire chart started to go down at that point. Excuse all the drawing and all the mess and scribble scrabble. My drawing is terrible, but I like to illustrate to really point out to all investors where things are changing and why they possibly changed. So the next time this runs, it shouldn't pull back that fast unless it reaches up here and there's going to be investors wanting to break even or hopeful of staying because they've been holding this long. Let's see if it continues higher than this. And it depends on what news is going on. So we'll have to see. Now, the 50-day moving average here is 73.43. I can't get exactly on it. 73.42 there. It keeps jumping around. But to be exact, it's 73.43. If we break through that, this ends up back in bearish territory, and this can hit newer lows. Now, if it breaks through the 50-day moving average, our next support level is down here at 65.97 to be exact. But I would round that up to 66 cents. You want to watch that. And you want to watch the behavior between the 50-day moving average and the next support. But before worrying about those numbers, our first support level is here at 76.97. Very important to keep in mind. There's a small window of about 3 cents or 4 cents between support and the 50-day moving average to see if the bears are dominating or the bulls are trying to reappear and bring this back up. You want to keep that in mind. Even though this is bullish territory, this has gone down pretty fast. We want to see if the bears continue to dominate and bring this one down, or are the bulls going to hold this one up? Very, very important to watch. Now, the first resistance level that the bulls want to break through, and it's the highest point as this was going downwards, and it spiked up in one of the 30-minute time frames, is 85.89. They want to break through that and turn that into a support, and they need to break through that and turn it into a support to pull away from the 50-day moving average, work their way up to newer highs. By turning it into a support, they can start to reach new resistance levels and pull further into the bullish territory and away from the 50-day moving average. Now, once that's accomplished, their next point of reference would be up here at 99.80. I would round that up to $1. It's not that far from it to the thousands and hundreds place, but 99.80 to be exact. And the next point would be there, and that would have to go ahead and get broken through to reach new highs, new resistance levels, and continue the momentum. We're going to have to watch this one carefully. We're going to have to watch it closely. So far, it's holding up pretty well. If it breaks through support in the 50-day moving average, we have 66 cents. And the next low would be down here at 64.98, which is, I would call it 65 cents if I would just round that up from the thousands place by 0.0002. So you want to watch these numbers. As long as this holds itself up above 65 cents, this won't hit newer lows. But if it does break through that, it could get slightly bearish, right? And we could see it pull further away from the 50-day moving average. But right now, let's focus on these numbers here, 85.89 and then 76.97 before worrying about any of the other numbers. But I do want to emphasize the bulls have to break through this resistance, 85.89. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.